Let's talk about the mistakes that I made as a brand new real estate agent. Even though I had a great first year in real estate, I made some very stupid and very costly mistakes, but I'm not the only one. I see a lot of people making these mistakes, and I want to make sure that you avoid them because they sucked. And it can also just make things way more difficult than it needs to be for you. So without further ado, let's dive into 5 things that I did wrong that hopefully you won't do wrong. What's up, guys? It's Mike Sherrod. Thanks so much for tuning in as always. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. If you do get any value from this video, or if you just simply love to support people that are putting out content every week to help you crush it in real estate, please just smash that like button. So let's talk about the 5 mistakes that I made that hopefully you're not going to make because of this video. Number 1 is I spent way too much money on the wrong things. Let me be honest with you here. When I was leaving engineering to get into real estate, because that's what I did before getting into the industry, I had an RRSP for anybody in Canada, or like a 401k, a retirement savings plan, because when you work at a corporate job, you can start to make contributions. I took out every single dollar from that to give me a bit of a buffer as a new real estate agent. It was, I think, about like $20,000 is what I got started with. As a brand new agent, because you're ingrained to do real estate the traditional way, which is insanity, I spent $16,000 of that on a custom website that 5 years later has not generated me a single lead. I also spent that as a portion on business cards that I still have literally sitting in the closet beside me, and all these other things that I literally didn't need. But everyone was telling me about the traditional way of doing real estate and that you needed all of these things and all of this stuff. You don't. And if you join the right brokerage like I'm now at, you get a free website. So when you start looking at getting into real estate, you want to bootstrap it. You don't want to listen to what everybody says about needing all this expensive, crazy stuff. You don't. To really drive this point home to you, we have new agents that have partnered with me at EXP that in their first year have done over 80 deals, over $65 million in production with nothing but an iPhone and free content. No crazy websites because they get it for free here. No crazy, physical marketing because you don't need it. And again, you want to bootstrap it in a way where what I did as I started to learn my lesson and build momentum is I took 30% from every commission and I would reinvest it back into my business. So now you're not going backwards. You're only spending when you make money and you're reinvesting it back into things that will hopefully make you more money. Number 2 is I didn't create systems. Let's be real. I did leave a ton of deals on the table in my first year of real estate because I had no systems and no follow-up plans. I was generating a ton of leads with Facebook ads and I was cold calling in the beginning and I had all these leads in a spreadsheet and I never followed up with them. I was just focusing on more and more and more and more leads, and I wasn't focusing on nurturing the ones that I already had. Not to mention, I didn't have a process for after I worked with clients to actually nurture them to get referrals. So I probably missed out on even more deals from there. So when I look back, it's really important to create systems and processes and templates that you can duplicate, rinse and repeat, and be able to, again, focus on the pillar aspects of your business. Because here's a concept I want you to understand. It is way cheaper to resell somebody that's already worked with you than to go get a new client. So to put this into context, it's way cheaper to get referrals from somebody that you've already worked with than to go find, generate leads, follow up, nurture, and get and acquire a new client. So servicing what you have is very important. Having nurturing sequences that you can follow in order to make sure leads don't slip through the crack like I did is very important. And this is what's going to make sure that you don't lose out on any business like I did. Number 3 is one that so many people do, and I hope to God you never do it, which is counting commission checks before the deal has closed. So many people do this. I did this in the beginning, and I remember I had one of my first deals. I think it was my second deal, and it was like a $700,000 property, and the commission check was going to be like $15,000 or something like that. I just remember thinking, oh my God, in about 30 days, I'm going to have like $15,000 more in my bank account. It's going to be amazing. And I was thinking about what I was going to reinvest into in terms of branding and marketing and things like that. And the deal fell apart. So I got all excited and the deal went bust. never ended up selling because my market here was very slow. So when you start looking at this, do not count your eggs before they've hatched. Do not even think about the commission check until it's actually firm in your bank account, because all kinds of crazy things can happen in this industry, and I don't want you to be disappointed. Number 4 was not focusing enough on building my personal brand. And this is something that I now specialize in, and I speak on stage across North America about personal branding. It's everything, because your brand is everything. In real estate, you are your brand. And this is, unfortunately, is not something that we're taught. We are taught, and it's ingrained into our minds, that the brokerage brand is the be-all, end-all, superior, higher power that is going to get us all this business. And the problem with that is it couldn't be further from the truth. Your brokerage brand doesn't mean squat. It doesn't mean a single thing. It doesn't matter to your clients. Nobody's working with you because you're at X brokerage. They're working with you because of you. There's terrible agents at every brokerage. There's amazing agents at every brokerage. The brokerage is irrelevant to the quality of service that the agent provides. And unfortunately, because so many brokerages are behind the times, all they have to hold on to is their brand, because they're not up to date with modern training. They're not focusing on the next generation of real estate. They're not thinking about how can they get ahead of the curve. So basically, their only hope and saving grace is to somehow convince new agents that they're going to get all this business because of the brokerage brand, and that the brokerage brand means so much. Well, I believe that too, because I joined one of the most well-known traditional brokerages as a new agent, and I was using their branding, and nobody was coming to me because of that brand. So I was investing time into, promoting their brand and not my own. Now, if you do want to know how to properly build and scale your personal brand, drop a comment below and I'll give you my free social media training where it shows you exactly how to build your personal brand for free using social media. And that is honestly going to be the only way that you'll ever stand out in this hyper competitive, hot, saturated market. So if you do want that, again, drop a comment below. But it's incredibly important to just remember that you are your brand. And number 5, I just selected the wrong brokerage. Whenever I was looking at getting into real estate, I shadowed a couple people, and I honestly didn't even look or vet other brokerages. I just went with whoever the brokerage was that the guy I was shadowing was with. And it was crazy high fees. There wasn't a lot of support. It was very old school, traditional, and I was kind of left in the dust. And it's like, okay, here's your license, figure it out. And I didn't know where to start. I was a new agent in a new city that didn't know anybody, and I was 24 years old at the time. I have no sphere, and every broker tells you to leverage your sphere. I don't know anybody. So choosing your brokerage makes a big difference. And if you want to see a video on that, just click above, click the card wherever it is, and you'll be able to see a video where I've actually broken down exactly how to choose a proper brokerage and all of the different criteria that you should take into account and take into consideration whenever you're vetting a brokerage, so that you don't make the mistake like I did. So if you have any other questions, just drop a comment below. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.